full display in his Truth social feed. We saw it this week during his speech, if you can call it that, to the military generals that Hegseth had gathered up in Virginia. And that is really where these members of the military, these high-ranking officials, the ones who Trump gives orders to who then give them to thousands of troops, something clicked that day with these generals. They were able to finally see firsthand, for those who had not seen it before, the mental decline and, dare I say, outright insanity of Donald Trump. Multiple reports obviously have come out since that speech on Tuesday. First and foremost, reporters immediately went out after the speech, try to find generals or other people who approved or even liked what Trump had to say or Hegseth. The reports on Wednesday were we can't find a single person. And look, that's not to say that all these military brass up there were diehard liberals. No, a lot of them diehard conservatives. Some of them probably have MAGA hats, but they couldn't find anybody who liked it. If you watch clips of it, it was awful. At one point, Donald Trump had to pull a Jeb Bush and ask them to applaud because the crowd through most of it was just stone-faced, dead silent, because they didn't like what they were hearing. They were worried. They were concerned. They were attacked by both Hegseth and Trump, telling all of them, if you don't like what we're saying, get the hell out of here, you idiot. But most importantly, according to the experts, those military officials left that meeting questioning the sanity of their own commander-in-chief. Tom Nichols for The Atlantic wrote this. In 1973, an Air Force nuclear missile officer named Harold Herring asked a simple question during a training session. Quote, "How can I know that an order I received to launch my missiles came from a sane president?" The question cost him his career. Military members are trained to execute orders, not question them. But today, both the man who can order the use of nuclear arms and the man who would likely verify such an order gave disgraceful and unnerving performances in Quantico. How many officers left the room asking themselves Major Herring's question? And that, of course, does create this problem because he's right. Members of the military are taught you follow orders. Your superior officer gives you orders, you follow them. If you don't follow them, there are severe disciplinary consequences. I mean, you can go to jail for not following these orders. But at some point, these officials, these generals, these soldiers at every level have to ask themselves, these orders I'm being given, are they coming from a sane person? Because it doesn't seem that way. When Trump spoke to those generals, he bragged about renaming the Gulf of Mexico, which he doesn't even have the authority to do. It's still the Gulf of Mexico. He attacked Barack Obama. He attacked Joe Biden. He went on and on about the auto pen, talked about how much he loves his own signature and everybody else does. As I mentioned, he at one point begged them to clap. It was all not normal. It was all not relevant. He said he ended 8 wars instead of last week, it was 7. Now it's 8, and he hasn't ended any of them. But he tells these same stories every time, bragging about the same accomplishments every time, which for the record is a sign of dementia. He says the same things over and over again because that's all he can recall. That's also something to be worried about. And so those people in that room do have to be asking that question. Are my orders coming from the same person? And if not, at what point do I hit no? I'm not going to do it. There may be a point that these generals and the rest of the military hit very soon. Trump's cognitive decline is undeniable. His physical deterioration is undeniable. At some point, we're going to have a completely incapacitated person serving as president of the United States. Then what do? The military brass do at that point? Do they just have to say, nope, I have to keep following orders even though he's wearing his underwear on his head? Or maybe we kind of restructure it a little bit so that it's not a bunch of people who have to go in front of the HG saying, hey, I was just following orders. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.